Hi everyone, so today we are going to be learning how to add two-digit numbers using expanded method. Now expanded method is something we have not used before. All it means is that we are going to partition our numbers, we're then going to add each column separately, and then we are going to recombine by adding all the columns together to get our total. You may use counters for your lesson today, or you may just use digits. It is entirely up to you how you want to do it, but I will be showing you both ways. So let's get started. Right, so I've written the steps down for us so we know what to do step by step. So our number sentence for today's first problem is 25 add 4. So let me look at my steps and see what I need to do first. Step 1, I need to partition my numbers. So 25 partitioned is going to be 20 and 5. Do I need to partition 4? No, I don't, because 4 is a single digit. It is a ones number, so it is going to be in the ones column. So let me write my numbers and work out my counters to see what I need to do first. So we know that 25 is 20 and 5. So if I'm going to use digits, I'm going to write it like this: 20 add 5. Okay. Can you see that I have my tens over here and my ones over here? This is very, very important because we need to know when we are adding or taking away, subtracting, we need to make sure that our digits are in the correct place value column. We are going to make a lot of mistakes. So today, the most important thing for you to remember from today's lesson is to make sure that your ones are all in the same underneath each other and your tens are all underneath each other. They're all separate from each other. So let's do our digits first, and then I will show you what it looks like with counters. So let's have a go at adding. Okay, we're going to add them separately in their place value. So I'm doing step 2. So let me change to my orange pen because this is step 2. So let's have a look. We always start from the ones. We always start on the right hand side. We never start in the tens. We never start in the hundreds when we are adding. We always start to the right hand side. So 5 add 4. 5 add 4 is 9. I know that that's 9 because I know that 5 add 4 is 9. Okay. 20 add nothing is going to be 20. Okay, so 20 add nothing is going to be 20. Now there's something missing because I have 20 and I have 9. There's something I need to do with these two digits. I know, I need to add them. I need to put my add sign in the middle there. So 20 add 9 is what I'm left with. So I've done step 1, I've partitioned my numbers. I've done step 2, I've added each place value separately. I now need to recombine by adding each part together. So let me change my purple pen so I know what I am doing. I need to add these two digits together. I need to add 20 and 9. So 20 add 9 equals 29. I know that because of my ones. 9 add 0 is 9, and 2 tens, so 20 add no tens is 20. Okay, let's have a look at what my number sentence, or what this would look like if I was using my counters. So I have 25 counters here. I have 2 tens, okay, because we know that 20 is made up of 2 tens, and I have 5 ones. That is my first number. So I've partitioned my number in step 1. I then need to put my ones, my 4 ones, underneath my other ones, because the most important lesson today is to make sure that my ones stay together and my tens stay together. So let's have a look at what this would look like when I add them up together. So step 2. Step 2 is making sure we add the ones together, add the tens together. Let's go. So I have 5 ones. I'm going to move my 5 ones down. I'm then going to have my 4 ones and move my 4 ones down. I now have 9 ones. Okay, you can have a quick add if you want to make sure that I'm not tricking you. That is 9 ones. 5, 4 is 9. Okay, I then know that I need to add my tens. So I've got 2 tens here and I have no tens here. So I'm just going to move my tens all the way down, making sure I keep my tens underneath the tens above. So I'm keeping them in their place value column. I have 2 10s here, so I have 20. Now I need to make sure that I add these 2 digits together. So 20 add 9 equals 29. Okay? So that is what we are going to do. That is what expanded method is. We are partitioning our numbers, we're adding each place value separately, we are then combining to add them all together. I want you to pause the video and have a go with this next one. The number sentence for you to use to solve today is 21 add 6. I'm going to leave this on the screen and I want you to follow the steps one by one. So it's partition the number, add them separately in their place value, recombine by adding each part together. Have a go now, pause the video, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to practice your skills by following these steps. Let me show you how we're going to solve it and you can check if you have it correct. Okay, so my first step is to partition my numbers. So I've partitioned my numbers. I have 21, so I have 20 plus 1, and I have 6. I don't need to partition 6 because 6 will go in the ones column. There are no 10s to worry about. So I have 20 plus 1, and I'm going to add 6, making sure that my 1s stay together and my 10s stay together. So let's add 1 plus 6. 6 plus 1, 1 plus 6 equals 7. Making sure I keep my digits in the ones column absolutely underneath each other. So they need to be precise. They need to make sure that they stay together. Okay, and now I need to add my 10. So 20 add nothing equals 20. So I have 20. Now there's something I'm missing here. Let's bring down my add sign. Okay, so I need to make sure that I'm adding these two numbers together. Otherwise, it will look very funny. It will look like 207, and it's not 207, it is 20 plus 7. So my third step is that I need to recombine the numbers by adding them together. So 20 add 7 equals 27. And I know that because 7 add 0 is 7, and 20 add no more 10s is 20. So it's 27. Let's have a look what it would look like if I was using my counters. So I've partitioned 21 into 2 10s and 1, so 21. And I've got 6 ones to add, making sure my ones stay together. Let's have a go and see what it looks like when we use our counter. So 1, I'm going to move my 1 counter down, and I'm going to move these 6 counters down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I now have 7 counters in my ones column. 7 ones. Okay, I now need to add my 10. So I've got 2 10s, so I've got 20, and I've got no more 10s to add, so I'm just going to move them down, making sure I keep them, remember, in the correct column. So I now have 20 here, so 2 10s, and I need to make sure that I now add these two numbers together. So I have 27. Okay, so 20 plus 7 equals 27. So my answer for my number sentence 21 add 26 equals 27. Okay, so you can go off and have a go at practicing this expanded method. 2 digits adding 1 digit. Okay, for step 2 today. Step 2, we are going to add 2-digit numbers and a tens digit, so a multiple of 10. So we're not adding any ones for this step, we are just adding multiples of 10 for this step. So our steps 1 to 3 are still the same. We are still going to partition our number. We are then going to add them separately in their place value, and then we are going to recombine by adding each part together. Now, I'm going to start with my counters this time, and I'm going to show you what this is going to look like when we've added all our counters together. I will then go on to show you what it looks like when we use digits. Okay, let's make a start. So we are partitioning our 25 into 2 10s, so 20, and 5 1s. I then need to partition my 40. So I have 4 10s in my tens column and no ones, okay, because there are no ones to add this time. Even though there are no ones to add to my 25, I still am going to start in my ones column, because when we add or subtract, we always start on the right-hand side. We always start with the ones column. So 5 ones, add no ones, equals 5. So let's move all our counters down. 2, 4, 5. Okay, my 5 ones. I now have 5 ones in my ones column. Let me go and have an add of my tens. I have 2 10s here, so that's 20. So we're going to move those down. I then have 4 10s, so 2, 4. Okay, and now have 6 10s. So I now have 60. Okay, so I have 60 here, and I've got 5 ones. I'm not finished yet, because my last step is that I need to recombine by adding each part together. So I'm going to add 10s and the 5. So 60 add 5 equals 65. Okay, let's have a look at what it looks like when you are adding in digits. So we've partitioned our 25 into 20 plus 5, and I'm adding 40. Now, because there are no ones, I need to make sure I write my 0 there, because we are using digits. And when we use digits and there are no ones, we need to make sure we put a 0 to show that there are no digits to add. Just as we did before, we're going to start with our ones column. So let's have a go at starting. So 5 add 0 is 5. 20 add 40. Now these are quite big numbers, but I know that 2 add 4 is 6. So if 2 plus 4 equals 6, then 20 add 40 must equal 60. Okay, so 20 add 40 equals 60. Okay, so I've done my step 1 of partitioning. I've done my step 2 of adding each column separately. Remember to make sure that your 10s are under each other and your ones are in in the ones column, that they don't cross over. My third step is to recombine, so to make sure that I add them together to give my answers. I'm going to put my add sign in there. So 60 add 5, 60 add 5 equals 65. I know that because 5 add 0 is 5, and 60 add no 10s is still going to be 60. There are 6 10s, add no 10s gives me 6 10s. Okay, so 65. So my answer here is 65. So now I want you to have a go with this one. Your number sentence is 21 add 60. Okay, I want you to either use counters or partition your number in digits like I have done here. Pause the video, have a go at solving it, and we will come back together. Okay, I hope you had a chance to solve this. I'm going to talk you through it so we can work it out together. I'm going to show you with counters first, and I'm going to follow my steps 1 through to 3. So my first step is to partition the numbers. I've partitioned my numbers with my counters. I have my 10s and my ones column here. So I have 2 10s and 1 1 for 21. I have 2 10s for 20 and I have 1 here for 1. I then need to add 6 10s for 60. So I've got my 6 10s here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. All my 10s are together, my 1s are together. So I've done my first step. My second step is to add them separately in their place value. So I'm going to add my 1s, then I'm going to add my 10s. So let's have a look. So I have 1 1 counter. There are no other counters to add, so I'm just going to move my counter down, making sure that I keep my 1s all together in the same column. Now, I need to add my 10s. I've done my 1s, I now need to add my 10s. So let's move all my counters down. So I have 2 10s here, and I have 2 10s there from the 60, those 2 10s there, and those 2 10s there. Okay. So I now have all my 10s here and I have all my 1s here. Okay. My third step is that I need to recombine by adding each part together. So let me go change my pen color, making sure I make it nice and clear for you. So always start in the ones. So I have 1 in my 1 column, and I have, let me count my tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I have 80 here. I have 8 tens. Okay, so I need to add these two parts together. So I have 80, add 1. 80 add 1 equals 81. I know that because 1 add 0 is 1, and 8 tens plus no tens is 8 tens. So it stays 81. Let me have a look at what it looks like when we are adding with our digits. So our first step is to partition our numbers. We have partitioned our numbers. We have 20 and 1. We have 60 at 0. Remember, we need to put the 0 in there to make sure that we know there are no 1s to add. So let's have a go at adding our 1s and then our 10s. So 1 at 0 is 1. Oh, we need to change that to orange because that's our step 2 colour. We know that 6 add 2 is 8. So 60 add 20 is 80, or 20 add 60 is 80. Doesn't matter which way you do it. We know that because when we are adding, it doesn't matter which way we do it. So 60 plus 20 is 80. So we need to make sure that we are then doing our third step, which is recombine by adding each part together. So I need to add my 80 and my 1. So 80 and 1 equals 81. Okay, so my answer for 21 add 61 is 81. Okay, so hopefully you got that. I want you to go off and have a practice now, practicing this method, and see how many you can get correct. See if you can move from just using counters to using your digits, or swapping them around and just using digits rather than counters. Okay, now we're going to add 2-digit numbers plus 2-digit numbers. So we are not just adding 1s anymore or just 10s, we are adding 10s and 1s together. Okay, so we are still going to follow our 3 steps. We are still going to follow step 1, which is partition the numbers. We are going to then add them separately in their place value, and then we are going to recombine by adding each part separately. So let's start with our number sentence. Our number sentence today is 25 add 42. My first step says I need to partition the numbers. So I'm going to partition 25 first. Using counters, I'm going to have 2 10s for 20 and 5 1s in my 1s column. I then need to partition 42. So I'm going to have 4 10s in my 10s column for 40 and 2 1s in my 1s column for 2. Remember, I'm keeping my 1s underneath each other and my 10s underneath each other. Let's have a go at adding our counters up all together. So I've got 5 counters here, so I'm going to move them down. I then have 2 counters here, so I'm going to move them down. Okay, I have all my 1s now in my down here. Okay, I'm going to move that across there. So I'm going to count up my 1s to see how many 1s I have all together. I have 5 and 2, which gives me 7. I have 7. Okay. Let's have a go with our 10s. I have 2 10s, that's 20. I need to bring those 4 10s down. So those 2 10s and those 2 10s. Making sure that I keep my 10s underneath each other and my 1s underneath each other. So I have 2, 4, 6. I have 6 10s, which means I have 60. Okay. Now, my last step says I need to recombine by adding each part together. Okay, so 60 add 7 gives me 67. Okay, I know that because 7 add 0 is 7, and 6 10s add no 10s is 6 10s, so 60, so 67. Let's have a look at what it would look like if we use our digits. So we need to partition our number. We partition 20 and 5, so 25 into 20 and 5, and we've partitioned 42 into 40 plus 2. I don't need to use 0 this time for my ones column because I have a 1 number to add. Remember, we're keeping our 1s underneath each other and our 10s underneath each other. So let's have a go. Remember, we start with our 1. So we have 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay, this is our step 2. 20 add 40. Well, I know that 2 add 4 is 6. So 20 add 40 is going to be 60. Making sure I keep my 10s underneath each other and my 1s underneath each other. Now, my third step says I need to add these columns together to make sure that I can get my total. So I'm going to add 60 plus 7, so put my add sign there. 60 plus 7 equals 67. Okay, so my answer for this number sentence is going to be 67. I've used counters and I've used my digits. Okay, so I want you to have a go at doing this number sentence. 21 add 65. Remember, lay it out like I have done here. Put your counters together and your digits together. Have a go, pause the video, and we will go through it when we are done. Okay, I hope you've had a chance to work out these this number sentence, the answer for this number sentence. And we are going to have a go at following our steps for the last time today. So our first step is that we need to partition our number. So 21 is partitioned into 2 10s, so 20 and 1. And 65 is partitioned into 6 10s, so 60 and 5 1s. Okay, we are going to add these together. That's what our step 2 is. Add these together in their place value column. So I have 1 1 here. I'm going to move it down beneath my line, and I have 5 1s here. So all together I have 6 1s. 6 1s. Okay. Now I need to do my 10s. I've done my 1s. I need to do my 10s, making sure that I keep my 10s and my 1s separately. So let's go. So I have 2 10s. Leave them down underneath my line, and I have 6 10s. So I now have, oh, don't know how many I have. I have 6 10s, so 60, 70, 80. I have 8 10s, so I have 80. Okay, so I have 80 and 6 1s. Now my third step is recombine by adding each part together. So I'm going to add 80, add 6. Okay, so 80 add 6 equals 86. Let's make sure I'm on purple just to make sure it's clear for you. Equals 86. So 80 plus 6 equals 86. Let's have a look at what it would look like if we were doing our digits. So 21 partitioned, step 1 is 20 and 1. 65 partitioned is 60 plus 5. So we've done step 1, we've partitioned our number, making sure we keep our 1s underneath each other and our 10s underneath each other. So let's add. We always start with the 1s, remember? So 1 add 5 is 6. Oh, that's going to be very big. So let's change this. So we add 6. Okay. 20 add 60. Those are quite big numbers, but I know that 2 add 6 is 8. So 20 add 60 is going to be 80. And if I'm not sure, I could always look across to my counters and use counters to see how many 10s I have all together. So we have 80 and 6. My third step is recombine by adding each part together. So what I need to do is I need to have 80 add 6. Okay, let's just change this. So 80 add 6. 80 add 6 is going to equal 86. Okay, equals 86. And I know that because 6 add 0 is 6, and 8 10s plus no 10s is 8 10s, okay, which is 80. So my answer to 21 at 65 is 86. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next number sentence, and I would like you, to go, okay, with your number sentences to practice what we have just done.